Hello, Tribe. I'm Julie Chase. I'm with Mayor Carl Dean, and you're running for governor, sir.
I am.
Where were you today?
I spent most of the day in Memphis, came back to Nashville around 4 o'clock.
Fantastic. Did you get to try to barbecue out there?
I did not have barbecue today, no.
Okay, that means we can't compare barbecue then. Oh well. Hey, let me just ask you a few questions, sir. This is going out to the Tennessee LGBTQ audience, and they are very curious about your positions on a few things.
Okay.
Now, our friends in Chattanooga say hello. They say at a recent forum there, you said you would commit to repealing the 2011 preemption law and work towards a state constitutional amendment granting full civil rights protections to LGBT people. They are curious about how you might do this.
Well, I think it's going to be, you got to be honest about it. It's going to be difficult because clearly it was passed by the legislature, and to get them to repeal something that's already in law is going to be difficult. But I've always believed that it's important that Tennessee be a friendly state, a state that's inclusive and celebrates diversity, a state that attracts talent. And I think that's all part of it. I did a lot of economic development work when I was mayor, and I knew that a lot of companies that came to Nashville came there because they saw it as a city where their employees would be welcome and they could contribute to the community and contribute to the success of their companies.
I'll have you know, Mayor Briley told me exactly the same thing, and he credited you for that.
Well, thank you. That's good to hear.
Hey, if elected governor, sir, and this is a personal question because I am transgender, will you defend the rights of transgender Tennessee residents, including minor children, to live their truth as they know themselves to be?
Yeah, I think... Yes. I think what we need to do as a state is you have common sense and treat people with respect and dignity, and I think that's important. And just to build on what I just talked about, the importance of being a city, a state that values diversity and is inclusive. When some of these bathroom bills and things were being debated, it was seen as a real danger to the state and to the city of Nashville, where we could have lost conventions, we could have lost business, and people got to be thoughtful when they propose these things. But the bottom line is we need to treat people with respect. That's it for me, respect and dignity.
Well, right now, if you're transgender and you're born in the state of Tennessee, sir, you cannot, by any means necessary, alter your birth certificate from the gender you were assigned at birth. Would you work to try and change that?
Yeah, I will do everything that I can to try to make Tennessee a state that makes it easier for folks who are transgender and lets them know that we're, again, an open society and respectful and treat people with dignity. That, to me, is key.
I understand. Okay, we understand you're against LGBTQ bigotry in the legislature and beyond because it's bad for business and tourism. But what do you tell people who wish to discriminate upon this committee on religious grounds?
Well, I think, obviously I don't believe in discrimination on any grounds.
Okay.
But, when people's religious beliefs, if someone says this is their belief, you can talk with them, you can reason with them. I believe my values are that we're inclusive, people are different, you want diversity, you treat people respectfully,
Yes, sir.
and you try to share those values with people, and you try to share those values through talking with folks and also in just the way you live your life.
Fair enough. Sir, your primary opponent's been saying that you are a little bit too supportive of state privatization efforts. Is that true?
No.
Okay. How do you feel about the private prison industry, sir?
Well, I don't think we ought to be doing anything more there. Clearly there's been a lot of very serious questions raised about the operations of some of the private prisons here in Tennessee. They are very much going back really 20, 30 years. They're very much involved now in the Department of Corrections.
Okay.
And how you unwind that, we have to do that smartly, and you got to do it in a way that's not going to hurt the state financially. So I would say at the very least we don't add on any more private prisons at this point.
Okay, fair enough. Candidates from both parties have speculated that an economic downturn is likely during the next governor's term. How do you think you might handle a potential budget shortfall?
Well, I've been through this. I think I'm the one guy in this race who can say with conviction that I have managed my way through a recession, the deepest recession that the country's known since the Depression. And I did that as mayor by having really clear priorities and making cuts where I had to make cuts. But I think the main thing we did is we re-stimulated the economy. We worked hard to get the national economy producing new jobs, creating more revenue for the city. So to me, what I would like to see the state do is you got to always maintain a healthy rainy day fund. I would be committed to doing that, to be fiscally responsible. But I also think I'm a big believer in having a strong private sector that's robust, creating jobs, creating opportunities, letting people get ahead. That all ties into being a diverse and welcoming state too. That's how I approach things.
I hear you. Tennessee and other southern states lose countless numbers of young LGBTQ people to other parts of the country because they feel unwelcome here.
Right.
What would you tell a young person in this position to stay?
Well, I would say that I think our state, like all parts of America, is changing.
Okay.
And if you look back at where we were in this state 5, 6, 10 years ago, we've made progress.
Yes,
And when I think about my time as mayor, I was the first mayor to sign an ordinance saying the city wouldn't discriminate based on sexual orientation.
I remember that,
I was the
sir.
first mayor in the state of Tennessee to come out in favor of same-sex marriage. And that was a big controversy when that happened.
It was.
But now it's not. And so I think people got to look out for themselves and make sure that they feel comfortable and they're happy. I think that's vital. But I think people can be very happy here in Tennessee, and that Tennesseans are good folks, and they're going to treat people with respect and dignity. And we're going to figure out more and more why diversity and inclusiveness is important to our success.
I'll have you know, Mayor Briley also said that about your efforts in Nashville, too, and that's what got going. Hey, one last question. You ready? Okay. I have it right here. Do you believe that Phil Fulmer has a real shot at turning around the UT football team, and will you be supporting him behind the scenes?
Well, I do think he has a real shot at it, and I have a couple of favorite teams here in Tennessee, but I will be rooting for Phil, and I'll be rooting for the Vols to turn it around. I remember his success when he was coach, and was very pleased by that.
Many of us 50 and overdue, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Hey, I'm Julie Chase. This is Out and About Nashville.